Welcome to EduSkills OET Made Easy. This is a very different approach to OET learning. I'd like to tell you how to fall in love with the OET subtest.
Professional English Test, Listening Part C, the key skills for Listening Part C. And this is just to glance over, you know the exam format Part C, introduction of the topic, 9 seconds to read the questions and answer options, understand large part of the audio, be guided by the questions, 3 possible answers, color in the circle to mark your answer, the best answer that you choose from 3 options. I'm not explaining those things because I will presume that you know. I have explained in the previous sessions. Now the format means, you know, 2 long presentations or interviews, careful listening task, identify detailed meaning and opinion, 12 MCQs multiple choice questions, 6 for each extract, 3 option multiple choice questions. So, you know, definitely in the elimination method, even for your education guess, you have 1/3 option to be right. And the format is questions appear in the order of the information in the text. You need not visit back again to the previous paragraph and search the answers over there. Questions and answers are given in progressive order, need not go back to the previous paragraph. Okay. And you know what you are supposed to listen for. Synonyms, synonymous language, paraphrasing. Almost these three are almost similar. Maybe there are slight changes. Synonyms means a single word, synonymous language, a phrase or a sentence. Paraphrasing also almost similar to that. And sequencing, definitely I told you in part C, reading as well as listening both. You need to understand the sequencing as you do it in part A of reading and listening. And chronology or time expressions, and scale or prioritizing, contrast, negative meanings, signal words, keywords, and relationship between ideas. Okay, listening strategies, focus on the main idea of the communication. As you practice, definitely look into what is the main idea? What are they going to speak about? As you get the context or the introduction part, you should be able to understand or foresee the questions as you have seen in the reading part. Here also, you should be able to foresee what's going to happen today in this particular listening task. Pay attention to signal words used to emphasize key points or show relationship between ideas. Synonyms or synonymous language or paraphrasing, note those things. Rule out incorrect answers, elimination strategies, select the correct answer. This is a strategy goes in, but I told you at times you can keep this for the last rule out incorrect answers. If you're very sure about the answer, you can do it when you have a revisit to your answers. Sorry. Listening core skills, you know, understand main idea of your communication. Okay, main idea of the communication. That's the most important aspect. Without getting it, don't try to start your practice. As you practice, definitely get the main idea. Try to write down the main idea in a piece of paper, then start reading. And then start to presume what are the things to be dealt with, what are the aspects they can deal with in this way, main idea. What could be the sub-ideas or subtopics under the main idea, main topic. Understand the purpose of the communication. Why are the people communicating this topic? Okay, identify speaker's opinion, very important. Attitude of the speaker and suggestion and reason. These are things which I have explained to you. Now, coming back to the method, you know, it is called method, question, answer, then listening or audio. Okay, so question first, whenever there are 3 options, multiple MCQs, not only for it anywhere, the strategy is that question first, answer next, go to the answer options, find out the differences, then get into the audio. Okay, so when you get into the audio or when you listen, identify the topic, identify the nature of the topic, not only topic, what is the nature of the topic, and identify the thematic link between paragraphs or questions. Focus of the audio, what is the focus? Main focus of the audio. Yes. And pre-listening strategies, you know, 90 seconds before listening, very important, the golden seconds, 90 golden seconds. Look at the context. I'll tell you what is context if you don't know. I'll glance through that. Notice the structure, what you have to do during this 90 minutes. Look at the context very clearly. It is given in the beginning. Notice the structure of the audio or the questions. As you read the questions and identify the stem words or the main words, keywords, you will understand what is the structure. Read the question stems carefully. Read the options and notice the differences. Okay, question stems means keywords of the questions. Read the options, answer options, and notice the differences. What are the differences? Underline keywords. usually verbs, nouns, adjectives, all those things in question and answer options. So first strategy, what is this? Look at the context. Instructions to candidates. Just read the instruction to the candidate. Two texts about different aspects of healthcare. Choose the answer A, B, or C, which fits best. Fits best is important, not the correct, not the right answer, but the correct answer according to the audio. Just listen to an audio.
Extract 2, questions 37 to 42. You hear an occupational therapist called Anna Matthews giving a presentation to a group of trainee doctors. You now have 90 seconds to read questions 37 to 42.
Hi, my name's Anna Matthews. I'm an occupational therapist working here in the hospital. In a moment, I'm going to present a case study to you to show you the type of work I do. But first, let's think about what we understand by occupational therapy and the part it plays in patients' recovery.
Okay, this is the most important aspect where you understand the context. The speaker will say what is the person's designation, what the person is supposed to do now, and what they are going to speak or explain in the following audio or the listening part of it. So unless you are sure about this, you will find very difficult to focus on the main idea. Okay, this will be there in all the texts. So I have taken it from OED official material. Thank you, OED, for allowing me to use this material for teaching purpose. Thank you. And this is known as the context. So first look at the context. There are instructions to the candidates at the same time. There's an introduction to the whole audio. We'll be dealing with it in detail. See now.
My name is Anna Matthews. I am an occupational therapist working here in hospital. In a moment, I am going to present a case study to you to show you the type of work I do. But first, let's think about what we understand by occupational therapy and the part it plays in patients' recovery.
Yeah. So there are so many things. It's almost pregnant with meaning or pregnant with a lot of things, a lot of information to focus on to understand the basics of the listening extracts you have, again, the audio part, audio clips. So unless you focus on this is the prime part of it. Generally what happens, you just skip over it. Just try to ask different various questions over here. I have made different highlights. Occupational therapist, the type of work I do. There's a contrast, but first, let me tell what we understand by occupational therapy. Next, the part it plays in patient's recovery. So who is the speaker? Designation of the speaker you should be clear about. Okay, ask yourself who is the speaker. Occupational therapist is the speaker. Anna Matthews, her name. Okay, what is the role of the speaker? Is occupational therapist. Okay, nature of work you understand from that. And next question could be, what is occupational therapy? Now you see, I'm going to here in a moment, I am going to present a case study to you to show what is the purpose of presenting a case study. In the audio, they'll be presenting a case study, okay, a research work. And what is the purpose of it? To show you the type of work I do. Okay, what is the type of nature of the work I do? But first, before that, what will I do now? See the contrast. Then they're going to say something else before what they said just now. Let's think about what we understand by occupational therapy. What is occupational therapy? So definitely in the beginning extract, they will be explaining what is occupational therapy. Okay, and followed by how does occupational therapy help in the recovery? And rest of the paragraphs will tell you, or sorry, the rest of the audio will tell you. The first audio will tell you what is occupational therapy, and rest of the audio clips will tell you how does occupational therapy help in the recovery of a patient. So this is the gist of the whole part C, audio 1 or audio 2. Okay, extract 2. So this is the gist of it that you must understand and write down. I suggest that when you practice, take time and write down these things. Do the analysis like this. Ask some questions to this particular contextual audio and understand these basic things. So definitely now we can jump into the listening and understand in the first, what are they going to say? What we understand by occupational therapy. So they will be explaining, defining, describing occupational therapy, and there'll be a question based on that, 1 or 2. Then the following audio clips will tell you how does occupational therapy help the recovery of a patient. So this is solely the whole audio or listening text or the extract will tell you what is occupational therapy and how does it help the patients in recovering. So you can imagine what could be the conversation. So you have a general idea, clarity about what's going to happen. And as you have glanced through the questions, you know what are the questions. Immediately you'll be able to connect the things. Hope I'm clear. Okay, now you see in this text, I'm not going to deal with all the paragraphs, 1 or 2. I will explain. Then we will do together, try to do together 1 or 2. Okay, the structure sequence here. The first paragraph, or sorry, first this one, audio clip or the question or the extract over there says main focus of occupational therapy. What is the main focus of the occupational therapy? Is the first part of the audio. Next part of the audio speaks about concerns of the patient. How can I help you? First visit. Okay. As soon as a patient comes to you, how can I help you? The therapist will ask you, what is your concern? What's the problem? You see, naturally, it's happening everywhere. As you are the health professionals, you know, as soon as a patient visits first initially, what is going to happen? That's what we're going to explain here. First, they will say what is occupational therapy and what is the main focus and how does it work. They describe those things, explain those things. Then the visit, image, a patient is coming and the first visit, concerns of the patient is taken care of. And how can I help you? What is the problem the patient is concerned about? And the next one, initial response of the patient. As you start the treatment, what is the initial response of the patient? Is he cooperative? Is he irritated? Is he optimistic about the results? Does he feel or is he convinced that I will be healed or I will recover from this problem? Okay. Then the next paragraph speaks about effectiveness of therapy. You know, as you start a therapy, whatever therapy, you know, next day, after a few days, what are going to ask? How do you feel now? How do you feel today? Better? Okay. So effectiveness of therapy, that's what I'm telling. There is a sequence. Exactly what's happening in your life situation is being done in this audio. So yeah, after the initial response, effectiveness of therapy in the process of treatment, which is called the assessment maybe of the progress. And next is duration of therapy and the result. Next is duration of therapy, how long it takes. Okay, I'm feeling better now. How long do I have to stay in the hospital? That's a normal question. The often question that is being asked by the patients, even to the nurses or to the doctors or to any health professional. So that's what happens here as well. The very common thing, you take any of the audio clips or the task, listening task, you have this structure or sequence, which makes it very, very easy for you to understand the questions as well as to locate the answers. So last one is on discharge, what is happening? On discharge, you know, definitely. Next step is discharge plan, what's happening. So, you know, here you have a clear indication. So it describes the occupational therapy. You can just imagine when I taught you the reading part A and listening A, I told you about a sequence. Here you see description of the occupational therapy. What is it and what is its main focus? What is the nature of occupational therapy? Then concerns of the patient. Patient visits, the initial visit. Then how can I help you? Means first visit. What are the concerns of the patients will be explained in the next part. Then initial response of the patient is explained. Then you have effectiveness therapy, asking the person, discussing with the patient, how far it is effective, are you feeling better, all those things. Then duration of therapy, definitely the patient will find what is the duration of therapy. Is it a very long therapy? Does it take so many months or days or weeks, whatever? And the recovery process. On discharge plan. How is the patient? On discharge, how is the patient? What is his mood? So third strategy is read the question stems carefully. That's the most important thing. Question stems, you know, that raw. This is not from this particular text, but I have taken an interview, 2 interviews as well as 2 from the research category of audio, so that you will now have challenges in both aspects. Okay, here Dr. Robinson thinks that short-term priority in the fight against Chagas is to. Okay, what is the question, Sam? Things. I told you, opinion is very important. Dr. Robinson thinks means it's his opinion. Okay, the short-term priority, I told you the time, short-term, the time sequence, time expressions and priority. Okay, the scale expression. So these are the three keywords. Okay, that's what you have to scan and understand as you go through the questions, identify the keywords or the stem words in the question. So, you know, it's an opinion of Dr. Robson. Even if there are other opinions given, maybe not in this particular extract, but however, even if other extracts or opinions are given, you need not worry about other opinions. You have to launch into Dr. Robson's opinion about short-term priority in the fight against Chagas is to what is to be done in short term to fight Chagas. Okay, as you can see here beautifully, Dr. Jack Robson, the heading, top subheading is given. So definitely, you know, the whole paragraph or extract or audio speaks about Dr. Robson. So what happens even in reading or listening, the same aspect or strategies you can work out. And, you know, here short term is that at least 10 years is here and almost overnight is here, then decades rather than years is here. So there are time expressions. You have to find out of these three, which is the short-term priority. Definitely, you know, short-term means cannot be 10 years, cannot be decades rather than 10 years, more than 10 years, but it should be almost overnight. So almost overnight is the short-term. So definitely, you know, where the answer is. Let's see next step. This is just to tell you what are the steps. I'm not giving you the listening practice. Say time expression, I told you. Yes, all these three time expressions are there. Okay, then immediately you know what is short term out of. One is 10 years, at least 10 years. One is more than 10 years. Another one is almost overnight. So you know what is short term priority and where is the answer. Okay. And fourth and fifth strategy is to scan the question and answer, underline the keywords, read the options and notice the differences. Okay. For strategies, read the options and notice the differences between options. Underline the keywords, means verbs and nouns, questions and answers. So underline the keywords means you have to listen for keywords, signal words, key points, relationship between ideas. And always I told you, always when you don't find an answer, skip is the best skill. Skip and go, because you don't require all of the answers to be correct. Still, as you skip and go, you can definitely revisit and have sufficient time to scan and find the answers. Okay, scan the question and answer. When you scan, understand the organization or structure or sequence of the text. As you go through the questions, you will really understand the sequence of the text from the stem words. Quickly look through the question and answer to understand how the text is organized and what's it about. Okay, what it's about. So the organization and what is the topic or concept or the main idea. Identify the main idea or topic of each extract. Okay. There are two extracts I told you in this part C. So identify the main idea, the focus, the topic, main topic of each extract, understanding the general sense of the extract. Okay, I'll be getting back to the audio of this, but then before that, let's go with the strategies. Yes, see the time expression. Okay, as I told you. Yes. So listening for opinions in part C, the importance of opinions. Okay, it's very, very important in part C. Though other things are there, this is the major part. Part of the listening focus in listening part C is to check your understanding of opinions. So what are the clues? Normally, obvious clues in the questions or even in the extract, in Father Salim's opinion. There, you know, Father Salim is giving an opinion. It's very obvious. At times, it's very obvious, very clear, or Dr. Robinson's opinion. Okay, slightly less obvious clues could be, how does Father Salim feel about? How does Dr. Robinson feel about? There should be a question or something like that. Then, you know, there is the opinion of that particular person. And hedging words that are already mentioned to you. Once again, I'm telling you, hedging words are believe, think, weave, impressed. These all words tell you someone is speaking of their opinion or giving out their opinion. So focus on those words and understand it's an opinion. Okay. So here you see, Dr. Robson thinks the short-term priority in the fight against Chagas is to things. That says it's Dr. Robson's opinion. Okay. So things, short-term priority, fight against. Okay. Then you have to get into the answer options here. Eliminate the insects, produce medication, then design and manufacture a viable vaccine. So there are three options here. Answers: eliminate insects, produce medication, manufacture vaccine. Okay. So this is how I told you, you have to underline the STEM words to differentiate the meaning between the options. This can be done within a fraction of seconds because you need not even read fully, because now fighting a short-term disease, a Chagas, any particular disease, you know, what are the solutions for a disease? Either to eliminate the insect or form that some medication, produce some medication or vaccine, whatever. Those options, you know, simply you have to look into the STEM words or the keywords. Yes. So, yes. The three different ideas given in this paragraph, I am going in detail into one extract so that you understand exactly how to differentiate between three answer options. The three different ideas, answer options are: working on improved drugs and a vaccine takes at least 10 years. The text says you can work on improved drugs and a vaccine takes at least 10 years, which no, it's not a short term. Okay. And the short term priority is the question. This is answer option C. Now, next option given, idea given is develop existing drugs in different size tablets. Okay. There are already drugs, only you have to transform them into different size tablets. It happens almost overnight. So, you know, it's almost compared to last at least 10 years, that can be definitely eliminated. Here, almost overnight is almost closer to short term. Then we have to look into the next option. So answer B is correct, and we can hear this by listening before and after the words relating to short term. So whatever is explained before and after that word short term, keyword, STEM word, you will understand this is the correct answer. But also what's currently available is designed for adults, even though infants often have the disease. What the drugs will be available now is designed only for adults, but infants are being affected. So you have to form different size tablets suitable for infants. And the third different idea given, wipe out the bugs that transfer Chagas to humans. So this takes decades, they said. It takes decades. So time expression is the main criteria here. So here, at least 10 years, here almost overnight. This takes decades, more than a decade, more than 10 years. So, you know, out of these three, one is 10 years, one is more than 10 years, other one is overnight, or more than 10 years, 10 years, overnight. So, you know, overnight is the short term. Definitely you have an answer immediately. As you look into the options, you can definitely understand this is the answer. Then you just visit the listening part, or just listen to confirm it. So what I'm telling you, from the answer options, when you differentiate itself, you'll be able to identify the answer. Then listening is to confirm that what you made a guesswork or what you concluded is the correct answer. Okay, this is answer option T. Answer option A, 10 decades. Okay. So short term, three things. Okay, short term is a really important word in the question here. Short term is the very, very important word, you know, time expression. That's why I tell you, time expression is a strategy being used here, the clue being used here. You can easily locate the answer from this term expression. And three possible fight against Chagas disease. Three possibilities are given, and how long it takes for each possibility. That's what you have to listen to. Okay. So as you understand, there is a virus or something, some new disease, you know, COVID-19 now. And, you know, the possibilities, what are the three options now? You say you sanitizing or wearing mask and vaccination. So three options are there. Now, term for each operation or cost for each operation, whatever the key hedging word here, that you have to look into in your listening. Okay. Now you see short term. Here in the passage, it says to eliminate the insects, it takes decades rather than years, and produce medication in a form that is suitable for children almost overnight, and design and manufacture a viable vaccine at least 10 years. Okay. So short term, almost overnight is a synonymous expression or synonym. You can call it short term. And the question says short term, the answer almost overnight. Okay. Opinion, you understood that. Okay, let's see. Can somebody read it for me? Just for confirmation. This is the script of this audio. Okay. Yes.
Interviewer, I see and what can be done to combat Chagas generally? Dr. Jack Robson. Plenty. Researchers are working on improved drugs to treat it, and a vaccine none currently exists. But it takes at least 10 years to supply a new drug. Another idea is to develop the existing drugs in tablets of different sizes. That could and should be done almost overnight. What's currently available is designed for adults, even though infants often have the disease. There are also some very important programs using insecticides and other methods to wipe out the bugs that transfer Chagas to humans. But initiatives like those take decades rather than years.
Yes. Now you see, I told you the modal verbs are important. Okay. See, that could and should be done almost overnight. Could and should, two modal verbs, focusing you to the answer. And you know, the almost overnight, that is the option that we have, answer option. You know, that's the easiest option. And you have here in the topic sentence, you can call it in the script here. What can be done? Plenty can be done. So what are the things can be done? You know, interview, I see, and what can be done to combat Chagas generally? What can be done? So plenty, the answer is starting with plenty means there are so many numerous things that we can do to fight Chagas disease. So what are they? Researchers are working on improved drugs to treat it and a vaccine. So topic sentence speaks about two things, one, drugs and vaccine. Okay, but it takes at least 10 years to supply a new drug. There's a contrast word, but. Now you said two things you have said. Improved drugs, researchers are working on improved drugs, number one. Other one is developing a vaccine, number two. Another idea is to develop the existing drugs in tablets of different sizes, another idea. So you see the sequential expression, another. So the third one is to develop the existing drugs in tablets of different sizes. So these are the three options. The very first and second sentence it is given. Unless you understand the topic sentence, it's very difficult for you to locate immediately. So three options are there and three options are in the answer, but the question tells you the time factor is the focus of the question. So which can be done in short time. First one is to working on improved drugs. Second one is producing a vaccine. Third one is developing the existing drugs in tablets of different sizes. So these are three options. The time given is one takes at least 10 years. Second one can be done almost overnight. Third one takes decades rather than years, many decades. So three options. How beautifully this the audio is constructed or the script is constructed. Okay, sequential expression, another, and contrast word, but here again you have here but, two places. Okay, modal verbs you have could and should just before the answer. That's why I said these are the blinkings that lead you to the answer. And modal verbs should and okay. So once again, I told you time expression. Here you see short time, priority, fight against, and see here what are the things used to produce medication in a form that is suitable for children. That's answer. Synonym, fight against, combat, parasite, bugs, eliminate, okay, wipe out. All these synonyms are used in this particular sentence. For example, if it says, the question says combat, the text or the listening or the audio or the script here says fight against. In the question itself, you can see fight against. What can be done? And now you have eliminate is used instead of wipe out, and fight against is used for combat, short term, overnight, eliminate the insects, insecticides, Contrast is used as long term and short term. At least 10 years, take decades. All these are the contrasts. Okay. So contrasts of short term. Contrast of short term is long term, at least 10 years, decades. All these are the contrast to short term. So you see, all these strategies are very, very, very much focused over here. Not only here, any paragraph you take, any extract you take, any audio you listen to, you can identify these things. Okay, chronology and contrast, modal verbs. Yes. You should be able to take the printout and write down these things in the printout. Okay, so we will go into one more text. We are not going into the audio now. We'll be getting back to the audio with a different text. Okay, this is just to tell you how to analyze the question. Okay, this one we will listen after looking into the questions. Sorry. Yes. Could somebody read this for me?
Why does Dr. Robson regard Chagas as a neglected disease? Option A, because of the social groups it mainly affects. Option B, because patients often don't realize they are infected. Option C, because its impact is severe in a relatively small number of cases.
Okay, I told you reason is important. In the beginning, I told you reason. You should be able to identify the reason. So this speaks about reason. So are you able to understand the reason? Cause and effect language. Why does Dr. Robson regard Chagas as a neglected disease? So why tells you have to look for a reason. Neglected disease is the term word here. Chagas as a neglected disease. Definitely, you know, Dr. Robson is the name. It's a common name or the person who is giving the opinions. Okay, so we'll just launch into the, just look at the screen and listen to the audio. Okay.
Talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to as a neglected disease?
Chagas is caused by a parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi. Most sufferers become infected when they're bitten by an insect, commonly known as the kissing bug, which carries the parasite.
Right.
People often don't realize they've been bitten, and during the initial phase of the infection, symptoms are normally mild or absent.
Okay.
70% of those infected never develop complications. For the other 30%, the disease tends to remain silent for a long time, often 30 years, but it eventually enters a chronic phase characterized by serious cardiac, digestive system, and neurological disorders. About 7 million people worldwide are thought to have Chagas, but it attracts relatively little publicity or funding for research. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. You need resources to force significant action.
Okay, the beauty is this. Just listen to the first part. I'll play it again.
Today we're talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to?
Okay, so she is asking two questions. What is Chagas disease and why? So where will be the reason? Immediately you can understand the first part will be speaking about what. Your answers will not be found there. Only in the second part, why is there? And you can understand, as the answer came in, she gave a response, right? Telling you this is the answer. So we say your ability to listen to emotions sometimes in the listening test. Your ability to listen to the response or the emotions of the person who is listening to. Maybe their happiness or their satisfaction or their excitement or their expression of understanding, all those things. So listen once again and understand in the beginning portion, maybe 70% of the audio is not relevant for you because the question is why. That's why I said you should be able to understand the reason and the stem words of the question. Question is not what is Chagas disease, whereas her question speaks about what in the beginning. So here Dr. Robson will definitely ask the first question first, then why, the second question next. So just I'll play once again, listen to that and understand what's her response, how she responds as soon as the right answer appears in the audio. Sorry. Listen carefully. Yes.
Today we're talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to as a neglected disease?
Chagas is caused by a parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi. Most sufferers become infected when they're bitten by an insect, commonly known as the kissing bug, which carries the parasite.
Right.
People often don't realize they've been bitten, and during the initial phase of the infection, symptoms are normally mild or absent.
Okay.
70% of those infected never develop complications. For the other 30%, the disease tends to remain silent for a long time, often 30 years, but it eventually enters a chronic phase characterized by serious cardiac, digestive system, and neurological disorders. About 7 million people worldwide are thought to have Chagas, but it attracts relatively little publicity or funding for research. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. You need resources to force significant action.
Yes, hope you got it. I'll play the last portion once again. Where the answer is easy. It is after maybe 70%.
Your funding for research. This indifference.
1 sec. Speaking about why, answering the second question.
Digestive system and neurological disorders. About 7 million people worldwide are thought to have Chagas, but it attracts relatively
the contrast word there.
Little publicity or funding for research. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. You need resources to force significant action.
So here I want to tell you, and some of you are practicing certain unofficial materials, and it's very challenging, or there are no strategies that will only create a lot of confusions in you. And I tell you, the way they are explaining, if you listen to this as if they are explaining it to the small kids, step by step, very slow and very clear, audible, with clear diction. And you can see, even in the question, when they ask the second question, important question, there is a different in the accent of the person who is asking the question. Listen to the accent, difference in accent between what and why. The first question and second question. Yes.
Today we're talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to as a neglected disease?
Chagas.
Yes. That's fine. So you know why. When she asks why, there's a difference in accent. Okay. Yes, we'll just read the same script, the same audio script. We'll just read so that we understand better the strategies. Yes, somebody can start.
Interviewer. Today we are talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to as a neglected case?
Yeah, this is what I told you. There are two questions. 1 sec, sorry. What is Chagas disease? So first portion, major portion will speak about what is Chagas disease, but you know your question is regarding why. So why is it referred to as a neglected disease? So in the audio, you have the same thing what is said there in the question, second part of the question. So you know in the beginning, you need not concentrate a lot, but you can listen to, definitely you have to listen to understand the whole sequence. But then the answer happens after maybe 70% of the audio. So you should be able to focus more on that particular portion where the answer can be located. Yes, continue.
Dr. Jack Robson, Chagas is caused by a parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi. Most sufferers become infected when they are bitten and an insect, commonly known as the kissing bug, which carries the parasite. People often don't realize they have been bitten, and during the initial phase of the infection, symptoms are normally mild or absent. 70% of those infected never develop complications. For the other 30%, the disease tends to remain silent for a long time, often 30 years, but it eventually enters a chronic phase characterized by serious cardiac, digestive system, and neurological disorders. About 7 million people worldwide are thought to have Chagas, but it attracts relatively little publicity or funding for research. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. You need resources to force significant action.
Yes. So, you know, the answer is somewhere here at the end, last 4 lines. Okay. Now, all this first portion is what is Chagas? So definitely you need answer for why. So about 7 minutes, but the answer begins with a contrast word. I told you whenever there is a contrast word, it's very important because the whole scenario is changing. So, but it attracts relatively little publicity, which means but after contrast word is the answer, it attracts relatively little publicity, means it is neglected. It little publicity or funding for research, which means it is neglected. The synonymous expression in the question statement is neglected. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities. Largely down to it. Largely down to it means largely because of it. Largely due to it. Okay, so the reason is here. The synonymous expression is down to it, because of it. And you know, but after contrast, it attracts relatively little publicity. Little publicity means it's completely neglected, no publicity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is neglected completely. So all these expressions are you need resources to okay. So we'll get back to that. Yes. Okay. See, I have highlighted. See in the question, Dr. Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist, that is his designation. What and why is important, where you have to. Why is it referred to as a neglected disease is the question. See, this part in yellow color is not at all relevant for your answer. That is the answer for what. Yeah, what. And this is why. That's why I said in the question, you have sometimes what happens, not only sometimes, certainly majority you have the challenge, you don't listen to this very much. You try to listen to the conversation. This is the most important aspect of your listening. Interview model is very easy. So I have taken both aspects, research type of text, early audio as well as interview model. This is interview model. So what happens here? This portion, you have to listen to the questions correctly and what question is connected to the question statement given. So you see, when your answer begins, there is a contrast. That's why I said, always these strategies are very, very helpful to locate the answer. Once you are thorough with these strategies, you know, immediately you will launch into this but and the later portion of it. You will focus on it. Even in your reading, the same strategy is being used. There isn't much difference. Okay, it attracts relatively little publicity. Okay, down to it because of it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities, which is given in the answer as well. Okay, so you see the sequence. What, why, what is here, yellow, contrast is here. Then you have why, the answer portion of synonymous language. Use this, neglected disease attracts relatively little publicity. That is a synonymous language used. So the contrast and the synonymous language being used here. These are the two strategies that just help you to locate the answer very soon. Yes. Yes. Neglected disease attracts relatively little publicity. Yes. Once again, highlights if you want. Yes. See why. Question is why. Here in the audio you have why, the second question. Neglected disease you have in the question statement as well as in the question of the particular person in the interview. Okay. Right. Could you just read the questions?
Anna says that the main focus of her work as an occupational therapist is option A, designing activities to meet the changing needs of each patient. Option B, make sure the supports patients in reaching their goals. Option C, being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages.
Oh. Now, why I have made these differences? You see, I have given in white color the questions without any highlights. Then I have given inside the box with the question being highlighted, STEM words being highlighted. Why I have made, I could highlight here itself, but I want to tell you that this has to be done in detail as you practice, especially the beginners. Okay, try to do in detail. I could just highlight these two STEM words here, the STEM words, but I did not do that to make a difference. To tell you, this is to be done in the beginning stage. Scanning the question STEM words is very, very important. So let's listen to this audio. Try to find out the answer as you listen to. Focus on the listening.
In simple terms, therapists like me help patients of all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do through the therapeutic use of a range of recognised activities. For example, this could be helping patients who are recovering from illness or injury to regain skills and get back to work. Or it could be supporting older adults who are going through physical and cognitive changes. What I always have to keep in mind, however, is what the individual wants to achieve. I always say that a doctor's first question is, what's the matter with you? Whereas my first question is, what matters to you?
Any idea? You can also use the chat box. Any idea which is the answer option?
B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B. Yeah. You can also put in the chat box. I'm just observing the chat box as well. Okay, here, first option, designing activities to meet the changing needs of each patient. Okay, now main focus of her work, occupational therapist main focus. She says, what is my focus? She even contrasts with other focus. Doctors usually ask one question, but I ask another question. And the topic sentence, the beginning itself, you have the clue to the answer. Second option, making sure the supports patients in reaching their goals. Making sure she supports patients in reaching their goals. Okay, supporting what they want. And being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. Okay, does it speak about patients of different ages? You will listen to one more time.
In simple terms, therapists like me help patients of all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do. In simple terms, therapists like me help patients of all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do.
What does it mean? That is a topic sentence. Sorry.
In simple terms, therapists like me help patients of all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do through the therapeutic use of a range of recognised activities. For example, this could be helping patients who are recovering from illness or injury to regain skills and get back to work. Or it could be supporting older adults who are going through physical and cognitive changes. What I always have to keep in mind, however, is what the individual wants to achieve. I always say that a doctor's first question is, what's the matter with you? Whereas my first question is, what matters to you?
What matters to you? What do you want? Okay, let's go to the analysis so that get a better idea. I've taken a bit challenging ones. Okay. So here you see, Anna says, I told you opinion, says, think, believe, suggest, all those specifics about the opinion, and says that the main focus of her work as an occupational therapist is designing activities. Does the audio speak anything about designing activities? How to design, when to design? No, it doesn't speak anything about designing activities. Okay, and being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. Doesn't speak of the nature of patients or what age or what the age of the patients coming there or nothing of that sort. So definitely making sure she supports patients in reaching their goals. She begins with the topic sense what they need. Okay, what they need. I am focused. And doctors usually ask what they want, but usually ask what are their what they ought to do, but then I ask them what they want. Those two questions. Let's check the script. Okay, so the says, Anna says, speaking about the opinion, main focus, a scale is there. What the individual want to achieve, patients in reaching their goals. In the answer option, what the individual wants to achieve, patients in reaching their goals. Their goal is what they want to achieve. And the next thing is reference she, her, here, her, and she. Those are the reference to physiotherapist Anna. Okay, so you should be able to even understand the reference. Okay. Just could you read both the question and script together?
The main focus of her works as an occupational therapist is designing activities to meet the changing needs of each patient. B, making sure she supports patients in reaching their goals. C, being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. In simple terms, therapists like me help patients to all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do through the therapeutic use of a range of recognized activities. For example, this could be helping patients who are recovering from illness or injury to regain skills and get back to work. Or it could be supporting older adults who are going through physical and cognitive changes. What I always have to keep in mind, however, is what the individual wants to achieve. I always say that a doctor's first question is, what is the matter with you? Whereas my first question is, what matters to you?
Okay. Now you see in simple terms, therapists like me help patients of all ages. Okay. Help patients of all ages. You can have a being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. It doesn't say being flexible or rigid. It says that's my duty to help patients of all ages to participate in the things they want or need to do, reaching their goals. The topic sentence itself says, what do we do with all the patients of all ages? To support them, participate in the things they want to or they need to do, their goal. Okay, through the therapeutic use of range of recognized activities. Recognized activities doesn't mean designed activities. Now, even the example is telling what they want, what is their goal. Okay, patients in reaching their goals. For example, normally, if somebody comes for therapy, okay, occupational therapy or whatever therapy, physiotherapy, they want to regain their skills or they want to go back to their work. They want to regain their abilities. So, for example, this could be helping patients who are recovering from illness or injury to regain skills and get back to work. So that's their goal. Why are they coming to the therapist? They want to regain their skills and get back to their work. So that is the duty or the focus of the therapist, to help them to regain their skills and to allow them to or make them able to get back to work. Or it could be supporting all the adults who are going through physical and cognitive changes. What I always see, always, you have scale there, always, sometimes, seldom, rarely, no, never, have to keep in mind. What I always have to keep in mind, see, that clearly tells you the scale, clearly, there is no other scale being used here. As soon as you see the scale, that's going to be the answer. What I always have to keep in mind. However, the contrast word, see the scale and contrast word. Next is the answer is what the individual wants to achieve. The option, second option of patient is reaching their goals. Supports patients in reaching their goals. What the individual wants to achieve. Okay, I have to keep in mind that. I have to support that. I always say that, again, you have the scale here. I always say that doctor's first question is, what is the matter with you? Okay, what is your problem? But whereas my question is, what matters to you? What is important for you? What is your concern? What do you want to do? What do you want to regain? What are the skills you want to regain? That's my physiotherapist question. So again, what matters to is the synonymous expression for what is your goal, what you want to achieve. Okay, so clean it is, and the scale and the contrast word is clearly pointing to the answer. So in the topic sentence, you have the clue. Again, that is reiterated at the end of the sentence. So you have the two triangles. If you remember my initial sessions, two triangle model upside down, one top, one on top, the other triangle. That is the model of paragraph structure here. In the beginning, you have the answer. At the end, again, reiteration of the answer. And even the examples tells you, explains the same answer. Hope it is clear. Okay, see, things they want or need to do is their goals. What the individual wants to achieve is they are reaching their goals, synonymous language. And again, you have scale being used here, and you have contrast being used. Okay, however, okay, those are things. Okay, could you just read?
So, Father, what is the answer?
What is the answer?
Yeah, what is the correct answer? Because
B.
What is the correct answer? It's highlighted here.
B is answer.
Yeah, because you see STEM words here, designing activities. First one is physiotherapy. Just think of when you differentiate the answer options. I told you one of the steps of listening is differentiate the answer options. Now, what are the answer options here? Anna says the main focus of her work. It's not just a subsidiary work. Main focus of a occupational therapist. What does an occupational therapist does mainly in the hospital or in the center and the service facility? Is it designing activities? They keep on designing some activities. They never meet any patients. Designing activities to meet the changing needs of each patient, which means patients they are not dealing with patients at all. They are designing activities. That cannot be the main work of a therapist, right? That can be done by so many other people. Therapist is in connection with the patient. So the first option excludes patient. Third option, being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. Okay, that's not given here. It speaks about elders and others, everything, but it doesn't speak you should be flexible or rigid anything. The focus is that making sure she supports patients in reaching their goals. Okay, main focus is not being flexible to treat everybody. Main focus is to help the patients to regain their skills and they are able to lead a normal life. They have some disabilities. They come to the therapist with some disabilities. What is the main duty of the therapist? To help them to regain those skills and get back to their normal life. Did you get it?
Yes, Father. Thank you.
Okay. So making sure she supports. So that's what I said. You have to differentiate between these things. And the example also speaks about regaining skills and get back to work. And it says what or here they says things they want or need to do, means reaching their goal. What they want to do is their goal. And here again it says what the individual wants to achieve. Again, patient in. These are synonymous expressions. And here again, it's at the end, it reiterates what matters to you is the focus. What matters to you is your goal. What you want to do, that's your focus. Okay, that's what the therapist has to do. Even in general terms, if you understand the difference between the options, you'll be able to understand those things.
I was confused in this C, Father, this because C option.
What is a confusion? Tell me.
Here the sentence says what I always have to keep in mind, however, is what the individual wants to achieve. I always says that a doctor's first question is what's the matter with you, whereas my first question is what matters to you. Yeah. So this two sentence points out to this option C.
No, being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. Does it speak anything about age? Always I have to keep in mind what the individual wants to achieve, not about age. What he wants to achieve. Clearly it says always you should keep what. May I know your name?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Father.
Your good name?
My name is Swati.
Swati.
Yes, Father.
Swati, now I am telling you what I want Swati to remember always, okay, is what your patient wants to achieve. Does it speak about the age of the patient? Did I speak about the age of the patient?
No, not the ages, but they were the flexible according to the patient.
No, that's what I'm saying. Being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages means the therapist's main work is to be flexible with children and adults and aged and all those things. That's the whole paragraph doesn't speak about anything of that. They should be flexible or rigid. The verb, action word is the most important word, you know, STEM word. Being flexible is the important word in this option. Does this paragraph speak about flexibility or rigidity of a therapist?
No.
No, it doesn't speak. And here also, what I always have to keep in mind, the therapist has to always keep in mind what the individual wants to achieve, what the patients want to achieve. That is making sure the therapist supports patients in reaching their goals. What they want to achieve is your goal, no? What you want to achieve is your goal, right? What matters to you is your goal. What is the goal? Regain the skill. Regain the skills and get back to your work or normal life. Is that clear?
Yes, Father, now it is clear to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here you see, that is even ruled out here in simple terms. I told you the topic sentence, therapists like me, no, help patients of all ages. It doesn't speak you should be flexible to this age or all ages, nothing, but it helps all ages. It's already ruled out. To participate in things they want to do or they need to do. Okay, what they want to do, that's their goal, no? So it is reiterated 3-4 times here. Once here, then again the example is given. Regain skills and get back to work is their goal. Again, what the individual wants to achieve is again goal. What matters to you is your goal. Goal means what you want to. Why you have come to the therapist?
Excuse me, Father.
Yes.
Being flexible, can we paraphrase like what they want or need to do? That can be. That is what is confusion.
No. Being flexible is the quality of the therapist, nothing to do with the patient. See, the therapist, the main, Anna says that the main focus of her work as an occupational therapist is being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. That is nothing to do with the patient, but being flexible means you should be flexible with all the age category patients.
That is what is confusing. That means the therapist is being flexible with the need, according to the need of the patient. That is what we understood.
Being flexible enough to deal with need. Nothing is mentioned in the third option about need. It is saying being flexible enough to deal with patients of all ages. It's focusing on the therapist, not at all on the patient. This one. The focus is on the quality of the therapist.
Okay.
Not the quality. Being flexible is the quality of the therapist. That is not the focus of our work. Focus of our work is patient and patient need, right?
Okay.
See, therapist being beautiful has nothing to do with the goal of the patient, right?
Yes,
being flexible, being beautiful, okay, or being wonderful, being excellent doesn't focus anything on the patient. So definitely when main focus of a therapist or doctor or anything, it should be on the future, concerned with the future or the goal or the needs of the patient.
Because Tate seemed uninterested in treatment, Anna initially decided to focus on what he could achieve most easily, allowing him to try and help himself, making him come to terms with his injuries.
Okay, so you see, because Tate seemed uninterested is a STEM word here. I told you in the sequence, once you decide on what is my physiotherapist's role and what is physiotherapy, what is physiotherapist's role, those things are over. Now we are running into the response of the patient. Okay, Ted is the patient. Because Ted seemed uninterested in treatment, Anna initially decided to focus on. So the initial response is that he is not at all interested, he is not positive, he is not optimistic, so he doesn't cooperate. So Anna initially, you know the sequence expression, okay? Sequence expression, decided to focus on what he could achieve most easily, allowing him to try and help himself, making him come to terms with the injuries. Okay, allowing him to try and help himself, make him come to terms with his injuries, what he could achieve most easily. Focused on what? Allowing him to try and help himself. Just allowed him, you do whatever you want. Second one says, now you are not interested, just do whatever you want. Was that Anna's opinion or Anna's decision? There will be some other decisions in the audio, okay? So here, first one says what he could achieve most easily. What he can do simply, now he is not interested in big exercise. So does Anna try, okay, whatever you can do now, try doing simple things, fine. We don't want to compel you to do a lot of things today or now. And second one is allowing him to try and help himself. Allow him to whatever he try and help himself means let him do whatever he wants. Can a therapist do that? Allow that? Making him come to terms with his injuries. Now don't worry, you don't do anything. You cannot get up, you have injury, you will never be able to walk, lie down. Will the therapist say that? That's what I said, you should be able to differentiate between the options. See, the second one says, since he is not interested in treatment, you do whatever you want. I am not bothered. Allowing him to try and help himself. Means you do whatever you want. Okay? Try and help himself. Allowing him to try and help himself. Help himself means do whatever you want. Third option is making him come to terms with his injuries. Now he has to come to the therapy because he has to. The already previous paragraph they said the focus is to regain the skills and get back to the work. But here third option says making him come to terms with the injuries means now accept the fact you will never walk again, lie down. If that is the case, does he need to be in the therapist's place, service?
Answer A.
So that's it, I said. No? And once you know the language, it's very easy. Okay, we'll go to the audio and listen, okay, how beautifully it is given. Yes. Yes, listen carefully.
Ted showed little interest in receiving treatment. Some colleagues at the hospital took the view that if he stubbornly refused to help himself, there was little they could do. It was his right, they said. But I didn't agree. Since Ted couldn't use his legs or right arm, I made sure we concentrated on what he could do with his left hand. For example, I worked on strategies to help him dress himself and things like that. We even worked on fine motor skills, like writing with his left hand. I wanted to make sure that even if he didn't ever regain use of his right arm, I could at least get him to function by whatever other means were open to him.
Did you get a clue?
Yes, Father. Yes.
Okay. Let's look into the script. How beautifully it is given. Actually, you did not go to the audio at all. You have the answer clearly given. You can understand from the, if you differentiate between the answers, definitely you know what is the purpose, because the previous, that's why I said you should understand the sequence. In the previous paragraph, Anna says, my focus is to see that they regain their skills and get back to their work. That's why they come here. So I'll be working on that. So two options, C and B and C can never be that. Okay, synonym, little interest, no interest, uninterested. How beautifully given you see. In the audio, at the beginning you said, little interest. Little interest means no interest, means uninterested, synonyms. Okay. And the sequence expression, initially. Okay. Modal verb, could. Scale, most. Do you have a modal verb or scale in the other two options?
No, no, Father.
No. See, that's what I said. Clear indications. If you are very thorough with these strategies, it's a clear indication without anything else. You know, one modal verb and scale is given in this option. Other options don't have anything of that sort. And that can be another confirmation for. Okay. Could somebody read this?
Ted showed little interest in receiving treatment. Some colleagues at the hospital took the view that if he stubbornly refused to help himself, there was little they could do. It was his right, they said, but I didn't agree. Since Ted could not use his legs or right arm, I made sure we concentrated on what he could do with his left hand. For example, I worked on strategies to help him dress himself and the things like that. We even worked on fine motor skills like writing with his left hand. I wanted to make sure that even if he did not ever regain use of his right arm, I could at least get him to function by whatever other means were open to him.
Anything that you understand? Wait one sec. Let me just. Okay, I'll get back to the screen. Here we are, right? Yes. That show. Yes. I don't think I can highlight. Let me see.
Little interest.
Okay. What is
Little
it?
interest.
Okay. What is it?
Uninterested.
The synonymous uninterested. Yes.
Synonymous
That
language.
showed little. That means that was uninterested in receiving treatment. Some colleagues at the hospital took the view. See, that's what I said. The opinion of the person. Now, whose opinion in the question is asked? Anna's, right?
Anna's opinion.
Anna initially decided to focus on. Now, this says some colleagues at the hospital took the view. Is it Anna's view?
No.
No. So definitely that is not our focus at all. We need not bother about those things, what they do, what they say. Some colleagues at the hospital took the view that if he stubbornly refused to help himself, there was little they could do. It was his right. Let them do whatever he wants. So these things are not at all relevant because it is not Anna's opinion at all. Correct? So what we did?
Yes.
Yes. So what we do, as you listen to, you can just strike out. Even this is the same in your reading as well. Okay. That's why I'm showing this. But I didn't agree. But I didn't agree is important. They said that, but I didn't agree. What did I agree? Anna says, since Ted couldn't use his legs or right arm, I made sure we concentrated on what he could do with his left hand, what he can do easily, for example. And definitely, even in the previous example you saw, example will be illustrating the answers. Okay? Normally, example will be given illustrating the answer option. For example, I worked on strategies to help him dress himself. What he can do most easily, what he can achieve most easily, help him dress himself. Okay. Sorry. Yes. And you can see my screen, right?
Yes,
Father.
Yes, Father. Yes, Father.
Yes. Yes. And I worked on strategies to help him himself and things like that. Okay. We even worked on fine motor skills like writing with his left hand. Okay. Those are the examples given. What he can do, what he could do most easily. I wanted to make sure that even if he didn't ever regain use of his right arm, I could at least get him to function by whatever other means were open to him.
But
Is that clear? So the
can
examples also speaks about what he could do easily. Okay? What he could achieve most easily. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Father.
Yes, Father.
So that's the beauty of it. Now, last one, it's too late, I believe. One more thing I'll try to work out with you. Just read this.
Anna suggests that when patients like Ted recover enough to go home, they are often too ambitious in what they try to achieve initially, able to build on the work of the occupational therapist, held back by the overprotective attitude of family members.
See, now, next sequence, it says, ready to discharge, right? Anna suggests that when patients like that recover enough to go home, means discharge. They are often too ambitious in what they try to achieve initially. Too ambitious means positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive.
Negative. I told you in the previous session, too good means bad. Most often in your feedbacks, you say, Father, your class was too good, means very bad. Okay? Too good to eat means I cannot eat, it's so bad. Too ambitious means we can't do anything, it's very negative. Very often you use that. It's too sweet means too sweet to eat means it's terribly sweet, I cannot eat it. You get me? Most often you use, most of in your feedbacks, learning experience, you use that. You most often tell me your class is so bad.
Yes, sir.
But I smile at it because I know what you mean. Okay.
Now we understood.
Yes, even in the previous sessions, this is the third time I am repeating. Okay. And able to build on the work of the occupational therapist. Okay. Able to build on the work of the occupational therapist means they are able to continue the exercise or whatever the things given by the occupational therapist after the discharge. They are able to do by themselves. Then they need to stay in the facility? As of now, until now, they needed the help of a therapist. Now they are able to do those activities by themselves. So they can be discharged, right?
Yes, Father.
Held back
Yes,
by the
sir.
overprotective attitude of family members. Now, what I'm telling you, here, the difference is this: too ambitious is negative, held back is negative. There is only one positive thing. Now you have to listen to the attitude of the speaker, okay? In the audio, just listen to the attitude of the speaker and find out the very first sentence, you find out whether it is positive or negative. Happy or sad. If A or B, C is the option, the attitude will be sad. Sad, pessimistic, no hope, hopelessness. But if the option is C, the attitude. That's why I said understanding the attitude of the author is important. Listening to the attitude of the author, like opinion. Shall we go into the listening?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
I don't know whether I am able to play listening. Yes.
Anyway, you'll be delighted to know that Ted's story had a happy ending. He's now back at
Okay, positive or negative?
Positive.
Delighted, happy ending.
home and back at work
That is called topic sentence.
too. Learning to walk again took Anyway, you'll be delighted to know that Ted's story had a happy ending. He's now back at home and back at work too. Learning to walk again took every ounce of energy he had. But patients like Ted, with that fighting spirit, go from strength to strength after discharge. That's where the support of family can be invaluable. As long as they don't inhibit the patient by warning them of potential dangers at every turn. But patients like Ted tend to take charge of their own ongoing recovery, gym membership, therapy regime, that kind of thing. Seeing that gives me a real sense of pride in the work I do and the difference it can make to people.
How beautiful it is, right? And how clearly they are telling you the things. Once you have identified those two things, two options are negative and one is positive, definitely, you know, from the very first beginning statement, everything is going to be positive. And they are reiterating it 3 times and giving examples on the work of the building on the work of the occupational therapist. Let me check if you have the script. Yes, let's just read it. Yes, please.
And anyway, you will be delighted to know that story had a happy ending. He is now back at home and back at work too. Learning to walk again took every ounce of energy he had, but patients like that with that fighting spirit go from strength to strength after discharge. That's where the support of family can be invaluable, as long as they don't inhibit the patient by warning them of potential dangers at every turn. But patients like that tend to take charge of their own ongoing recovery, gym membership, therapy regimen, that kind of thing. Seeing that gives me a real sense of pride in the work I do and the differences it can make to people.
Okay, anyway, you will be delighted. Okay, so beautiful.
Happy
and
meaning.
Happy ending. Okay, he is now back at home and back at work. Okay, and learning to walk again took every ounce of energy he had, but patients like that with that fighting spirit go from strength to strength after discharge. That's where the support of family can be available. The modal verb can be invaluable. Can be. It doesn't speak anything about the family support. It says can be invaluable if it is available. As of now, is not available or nothing is said. Can be. If there is support, it's better. As long as they don't inhibit the patient by warning them of potential dangers at every turn. Okay, that's the only thing for third option. But patients like that tends to take charge of their own ongoing recovery. That's what being said in the second option, right? Building upon the work of the occupational therapist. Example, I told you, example is given. Gym therapy, gym membership, regime therapy, that kind of thing. Seeing that gives me a real sense of pride in the work I do and the difference it can make in the life of the people. See, even that speaks. I'm proud he is good now. He is able to do himself. He is self-reliant. So every bit of it speaks about the second option. Am I right?
Yes, Father. Yes, Father.
Second option is able to work of the occupational therapist. Every sentence, including the examples. And I told you, examples will build upon the correct option of the answer. Examples will be the illustrations for the correct option of the answer. I think it is too long. I have some more options, some more passages, but I'll close. Thank you so much. I took a long time.
Thank you, Father.
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 It's fine, it's fine. We'll get back to that. Second question, is it?
Yes, Father.
Question number 1. Question number 2, yes. This one. Neglected disease. Is that the one?
Yes, Father. I have a confusion in this question
What is the
number 2.
confusion? What's the confusion? Tell me.
Father, this in option A and C.
Yeah, and see, because its impact is severe in a relatively small number of cases. Does the audio speak anything about small number of cases? Want to listen to the audio?
Today we're talking to Dr. Jack Robson, a cardiologist and Chagas disease specialist in the USA. Dr. Robson, what is Chagas disease and why is it referred to as a neglected disease?
Chagas is caused by a parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi. Most sufferers become infected when they're bitten by an insect, commonly known as the kissing bug, which carries the parasite.
Right.
People often don't realize they've been bitten, and during the initial phase of the infection, symptoms are normally mild or absent.
Okay.
70% of those infected never develop complications. For the other 30%, the disease tends to remain silent for a long time, often 30 years, but it eventually enters a chronic phase characterized by serious cardiac, digestive system, and neurological disorders. About 7 million people worldwide are thought to have Chagas, but it attracts relatively little publicity or funding for research. This indifference is largely down to it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. You need resources to force significant action.
You said third option, you have a confusion, right? Because its impact is severe in relatively small number of cases. Does the paragraph speak anything? Where do you have that reference in the? But it attracts relatively little publicity or funding for research. This is largely down to because of being primarily a disease of marginalized communities in Latin America, where it's endemic. Endemic, does it mean small number? Endemic means widespread, right?
Widespread.
Yeah, it's against this, no? Opposite of this, no? So can it be the option? Endemic means pandemic, endemic is widespread, right?
Yes.
And after the contrast says it attracts relatively little publicity, means neglected disease, down to it because of being primarily a disease of marginalized communities, because of the social groups it mainly affects. So the answer is very clearly given here. And a small number of cases it's affecting, no number of cases is nowhere mentioned. It says where it's endemic. In Latin America it is endemic. Marginalized communities doesn't mean small number of people. Marginalized communities, minorities need not be a small number. Marginalized tribal communities can be in huge, big numbers, right? Is that clear?
Okay, yes, Father.
No, you are not convinced. Now the question is why
it
does
is?
Dr. Robson regard Chagas as a neglected disease now, but it attracts relatively little publicity because it means it is neglected or funding for research. This indifference is largely this is being neglected because largely down to means due to or because of it being primarily a disease of marginalized communities. Because of the social groups, it mainly affects. That's paraphrasing, exactly the paraphrasing. This is the exact answer, paraphrasing of this statement, these two statements, question statement and first option statement. Because its impact is severe in relatively small number of cases, it doesn't speak anything about the severity of impact. It speaks about the neglect it attracts.
Here,
Yes.
the marginalized communities is paraphrased to social groups or what?
Yeah, they are because of the social groups. Marginalized communities means it's the social groups, no? There is no other social groups mentioned here. Marginalized community means the tribals or other marginalized communities. They are the social groups. Did you get it?
Yeah, yes, Father.
Anyone else has got a doubt on this? I just want to know what disturbs you or what confuses you. Because I don't see any confusion here. It's a very clear answer. The clear paraphrasing of why. No? Here, second part, this one. The question statement and first option is clearly paraphrased here. Directly paraphrased. Anyone has got any other idea where the confusion is? Who can assist the person who is asking me the question?
Father, when I was reading the question first time, I thought neglected disease means disease neglected by the patients.
No.
How can we identify whether it is by the patient or the...
Why does Dr. Robson regard Chagas as a neglected disease? Now, who is the speaker here?
Yeah, and now I understood. But the first
That's what I said. That's what I said. Opinion is important. Why means someone's opinion. Okay? What their position. So don't change the focus. Okay? Now, question says clearly, why does Dr. Robson regard Chagas as a neglected disease? It doesn't say Chagas is a neglected disease. It is, why does Dr. Robson regard? I said, no, obviously given clues. What does Father Salim feel about it? What does Dr. Robson feel about it? Okay? What does he regard about it? Is that clear?
Father. Yeah, yes, Father.
Okay. That's why I said focus should be given, sequence should be understood, focus should be understood. If you change the focus, the whole thing will change. Here, why is the clear answer? Fine, I believe.